The Yeti Radio, powered by DavidLeeImaging.com. David Lee Imaging in the Titletown Music Archive and the Live 365 app. Welcome to the Backstage Lounge on the YetiRadio.com.
Welcome, everybody. Put the microphone in the right place, Yeti. Live tonight in the studio in the Backstage Lounge on the YetiRadio.com. We got Mr. Tony Noyes, the master behind the Noyes Factory. We're going to start things off with a song called Lights Out for You right here on the Yeti Radio. Live in the studio with the Yeti, it's Mr. Tony Noyes, the noisy one. Welcome, sir.
Hi, thanks for having me. The noisy one. Boy, never heard that one before.
Oh, no.
I was going to say, because I used to do a podcast a while back, and it was Bring the Noise. So, yeah.
Okay.
You bring my noisy ass there I am. I know how to, I can be loud. I got in trouble a lot in school.
Well, I've got a friend, his son-in-law has a business dealing with cars and lights and audio, and it's Noisy Boys. So.
Oh, there you go. Nice. Yeah, for sure. I mean, for all the shit that I do, it's a perfect name. It works. And it's funny because I used to go by just a stage name, which was a nickname when I was in the work field quite a bit when I first started out in metal shops, and it's where I first started, in a metal shop. And they just started calling me Tones because my first name, Tony. They'd go Tones, and that was it. And there's another guy that had a similar nickname. But anyway, they threw out nicknames, so I go, that sounds cool. The Tones, music Tones. I'll go with that. And then everybody was going, you have a name, Noyes. Why in the fuck are you not going by Noyes? Why are you not, I mean? It's a perfect name for the stage and for music.
I'm sorry, I heard Noise Factory, and I'm like, perfect.
That works, huh?
I think it's probably one of the better names I've heard in 55 years.
Well, thanks. Appreciate that. Is it all right to drop the F-bombs? Is this
Absolutely.
like the
This is
equivalent
just
of a Howard
internet.
Stern show?
Yeah.
Cool.
I protect the First Amendment as much as I do the Second.
Yeah, right. There you go.
So-
I protect my First Amendment with the Second Amendment.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I see that. I love the big flag in the back here. I see the camera fitting. Look, you got the whole flag in there. I feel like this little tiny guy here. I should be standing going, yeah.
Well, wait till we take the picture afterwards.
Just to fill the whole screen up for everybody. I feel like this little guy sitting way over here. Hi. How are you? We represent the Lollipop Kids.
So how long have you been doing music?
Forever and a day. We talked about doing a rock band when we were in school in I couldn't tell you, 4th grade, something really ridiculous, right? We were just like we're gonna make a band and we're gonna call it Tight Leather, and our first single will be Tight Leather. Yeah, that was the name of it. You could play the bass, you could play the drums, and we all didn't know what the fuck we're doing. We didn't know, what we were gonna do, and but that was the first idea of it. And then I just got I got a guitar with my mother. I went to Nogales for the first time in Mexico, and we went with one of her boyfriends, and I wanted to get a stiletto. And it was very, very I carry one today. She wouldn't let me have it way back in the day. But of course now I carry one. But it was one of these, and I said, I want to get one of those. And she was like, I really don't want you to have that. And I said, well, I really want one. Come on. They're cheap here and they're legal, and I don't think they were legal here at the time. But anyway, she coaxed me into, how about I buy you this guitar that's on the wall? And there was an acoustic guitar on the wall. And I was like, oh, okay, let's do that. And I think I just bought my first Jimi Hendrix record, and I was listening to it, the vinyl, spinning that. And I was like, oh, I want to learn some of those songs. So yeah, let's get the guitar. So anyway, didn't get that. And so that's where it all started. So I started just playing. It started with Jimi Hendrix, and I was doing Motley Crue because I was listening to Too Fast for Love and shit like that. And I was trying to learn. There's like a lead that Mick does. It's really simple to play, and I could play that. And so that's where I started. And then I just from there, I just went into, I couldn't. Every day I bought a new guitar. I had a Les Paul, and just you buy those first guitars. I think the first one was a cheesy Strat, a real cheap one that I painted 10 different colors. It was silver at one time. And, I'd play that every day, and I just try to play Iron Maiden. I learned like a power chord, and that was it. It was all over for me. I had no idea I was going to sing, but I was playing guitar, and I couldn't even tell you how I got into singing all of a sudden. It's just I started belting out. I think I was in a racquetball court, and I started singing shit, and I just go, oh, my God, wait a minute. I could do these screams and start, and just try to do impressions of some of those singers. And I went, ooh, that'd be cool. Maybe I want to do that.
Right.
So I just kept playing guitar to learn shit to play so I could sing to it. And so I kept playing the guitar, and I didn't get, I guess my practicing went more to vocals rather than guitar. So I'm not a super guitarist. I could do okay. I could shred some shit. I could play some leads, and I could do decent, and I could write songs, record rhythms, create stuff right now. But I work on my voice every day. It's just every day, all the time. Drives everybody nuts that I'm around, whether I work with them or live with them. I'm just singing in the house. And
so you were asking about the acoustic panels. Is that for the bathroom for when you're in the shower?
Yeah, it's for everywhere. Probably the whole fucking house. The wife is like, please soundproof the whole house. Probably just her office. That way she can just stay in there, and she's in a padded room, and I'll buy her a jacket that ties in the back soon.
Right.
And just chain her up, and I get the rest of the house. But yeah,
nice. So how'd you come up with the factory on the end of Noyes?
God, I don't even know. I want to say I would love to take full credit for it, but I think there was a buddy of mine that said it, or somebody said it, and it just stuck with me, and I was like, that's cool as hell. And but I think my son and I were making songs, and we just had no idea that we were going to do that we were going to do a band. And somebody said that, and I go, oh, that's the coolest, that'd be cool. because you're pumping out songs from the factory. Oh, the Noyes boys doing the Noyes factory and something like that. And I was like, bing, fucking light bulb.
Cha-ching.
Yeah, I'm like,
there we go.
I
That's
like
money,
that.
baby.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. So I go, yeah, let's run with that. And then, that's where the idea where I asked my son, do you want to go out and play some of these songs that we're recording? And he was recording a bunch of my old stuff from my band Crazed. I taught him how to record and produce, and he's gotten really good at it. And he started recording my old songs and remaking them. And I was like, I thought he's just being nice, trying to make me feel good. But no, he's done quite a few of them. And I said, well, let's take this shit out and go play it. Let's get on a stage. So that's where Noyes Factory was born, and it was put together. I got Chris Howell on the drums. Brian Jones is playing on the other guitar. I took my son and I were playing guitar, but I said, you need to be up with the microphone, be the front man. I pushed him on the last gig. I said, you're up. Pushed him out in the front. Go be the fucking front guy. And he was like, shit. I go, yeah, do it. And he did great. But and then we got a bass player. He's actually going to school. His name's Ray, Radical Ray, we call him, and he's actually going to school in Flagstaff right now. So he's away, but he's coming down for any shows that if we decide to book him.
Okay.
But
cool.
Yeah, if you want a long answer, you just ask me. I can fucking babble all night. You're gonna get a long story longer.
Oh man, let's see. How is it having your son come into the dream and kind of continuing it per se? How's that feel?
I don't know. I mean, it was always, I'll tell you what, I always knew that was going to happen. I just had a feeling, and he's my only son. I have 2 stepdaughters that are older that were with, my wife has when I met her, and they're like my daughters. But, there we go. What are they doing?
Probably the plug.
Okay. So
they're old 58. Sorry.
Old cables, old 58s, and this thing has been around since the 50s. It smells like meat and cheese. All right. So, what was the question? No. So, I always kind of knew he would do it, and I was a little surprised that I bought him a guitar and it sat in the corner, and he didn't take any interest in it. And he was still young at the time, but he picked it up around 11 or 12, and then he started. I had to buy him another one because I gave that one away to the granddaughter at the time. She was pretty young, so then I had to buy him another one. But so I wasn't surprised when he took it up, and I went, okay, this is cool. He's going to do this, and but the way that it's turned, he's totally. I named him Zachary, or Zach Thomas, Zachary Thomas Noyes, because I didn't want another Tony Noyes the second, because he's not me, and anybody wants to do that, it's great, naming another kid, and it's cool to have another one. I just thought he's a little bit of my wife, and half my wife and half me, and he's going to be a different person, and he is when it comes to the music. I mean, he's a screamer, he's got his own style, he's got his own way of writing music, shit that I wouldn't even think of. So it's really cool that he's decided to follow that dream and go after it. The big surprise is me playing on stage with him. I had no idea. There was no plan for being in a band with my son. I thought maybe I could be the manager. And for us doing music together and singing together and screaming together, and I'm teaching him, I give him tips on singing, more vibrato and singing 80s style and things like that. And he's teaching me how to scream, because he does these, these are all big screams and the growls. So I had to learn how to, I'm working on that. So it's kind of a great trade-off,
right?
That I would have never seen coming. So for me, it's the best thing in the world. I've chased the dreams. I've chased the record deals and the record labels, and seem to have gone way under the radar for whatever reason. I don't know. But got to be in the right place at the right time, and all that stuff. But to honestly be jamming with my son, and he still wants to hang with me and play music with me, is the best thing in the fucking world. It's better than any of that, touring the world. And for me,
right.
I'm just
so
totally
it wasn't
blessed.
The typical teenager, the old man's full of shit and I don't want to hang out with him.
Well, the full of shit thing, he still says that, but he still wants to hang out with me even though I'm full of shit, so that's cool.
All right.
Yeah, he still has no respect, but hey, that's cool. He's just, we kind of have a friend relationship, like friends, but he respects me enough when I put my foot down if I have to, but I don't have to often.
Right.
So we're just kind of like friends, and it's really cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what have been some of your biggest highlights so far?
You mean as far as music goes?
Yes.
Well, one that sticks out is 2005 winning the Proof is in the Pudding for the Alice Cooper show. He has the Christmas show that he does every year. And 2005, my band Crazed won that. And so that was a huge highlight. I got to hang out backstage with Alice Cooper, with, his son was there, Dash, who's in Co-op now.
Right.
And Styx was there. The Tubes were there. There was all these celebrities, and we got to go in the green room with these guys, and there's food spread, and they're like, go on and mingle, and I just felt out of place. I felt like Wayne from Wayne's World. We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
Right?
Because it was just like that fucking scene. I felt like, God, I don't even know if I belong in here with these guys. And felt nervous to talk to them and stuff. But that was just, what an awesome thing that was the biggest crowd I ever played in front of. I think it was 8,000 people at the time in Dodge Theater, it was called at the time. And they wanted me to do the Christmas song. We did The Little Drummer Boy, and we won the contest with that. So they said, do your Christmas song, and I told him, man, I have another song that I really want to do that has the crowd participation, because I wanted to hear all those people singing, see if I could get the whole crowd going.
Right.
And finally he was like, his name's Mick, and he was like, whatever, go ahead and fucking do your song, So, English guy.
Yep.
That was my English accent. So I did that song, and it went over great. I mean, it had the whole crowd going. So the moment that really sticks out about that, everybody was cheering. They're singing whatever I was telling. It was a Freddie Mercury moment, right? And have them do it. But I was singing Crazed, the name of the band. So when I got done, I'm just high as a fucking kite, like just adrenaline rushed, and that was the coolest thing ever, right? And I'm thinking that was fucking great, is in my head. And I walk through the doors, and there's Alice Cooper standing there. And he comes up to me and goes, wow, man, that was great. And I go, that was great, wasn't it? And he goes, no, you were great. He goes, you're quite the showman. And I was like, thank you. Coming from Alice Cooper saying that I was quite the showman.
Right.
What? Thanks. So that was a pivotal moment of like, wow, okay, I think I've been kind of verified by one of the greatest, if not the greatest. Right. Guy that can put on an amazing show. So that was really cool. The Motley, I got to say the Motley Crue tribute that I did was really cool because of the touring. And, the bass player, his name was Daryl, and he just booked the shit out of the band. He didn't even want to be home, I think, He just wanted to be out on the road. I don't think he liked the family life or whatever,
Get me away from the old lady.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I know his lady. She's really cool. And I don't know how maybe they didn't get along, and he just wanted to get out on the road. I think he liked being Nikki Sixx better than being himself, maybe. I don't know. Could be. Nikki Sixx probably doesn't have a bad life, you know what I'm saying? But it was kind of a rock star life. So he booked us out there. We were in this, and he just traveled. We'd fly, and we just played, Alaska, New York. These are places that I'd really never been, a lot of these places. So that was great to just tour there. And I was drinking heavy. I got into it was a Motley Crue. If you remember The Dirt,
right? It was a Motley Crue experience.
It was like that, but not all the women, because we were jumping in the van and going the next day. But I wasn't doing drugs at all. But then people were like fucking putting them out. I mean, one of the booking agents that booked the show, she's like, "Hey, I got cocaine, I got women, whatever you want." And I'm like, "No, I can't. What, you got cocaine?" I haven't done a line in a long, long time. Why don't you, give me a little of that? So, so I bumped it up a little, and it was, it was not, of course, well, it was what it used to be. And so I was like, oh, God, stay away from that. Dangerous, right? But other than that, I just drank a lot. I used to tell the guys, because they wanted to hang in the bar before the show, and it'd be 3 hours, 4 hours sometimes. I'd get there early, and he's just, I'm going to wait here. And I'd go, can we go back to the hotel and hang out? And I'd stay in the bar, and they're just feeding me fucking drinks for free. And I'm like, you don't want an alcoholic like me in the bar for 3-4 hours before the show, bro. This is a bad idea.
Won't be functional at showtime.
Yeah, I was very fucked up come time for the show. I pulled it off every time. I did that quite a bit. I think there was only once. There's many times that I almost didn't finish the show. or finished it very poorly at the third set because we were, League of Forgotten Saints. I was getting pretty hammered. But I never, and then there was one other time where Tumbleweed at the Blues was like, all right, cut that off. Because I'm like in between the monitors, falling down with the microphone. Yeah! All right, sing it for me. You sing! And he's like, all right, that's, we're done. But that was a great experience, man. I loved just traveling and meeting new people. And we did that for multiple years. And people were driving from other states to come see the show. And they'd hit me up on Facebook, Tony, I'm coming to see you. Drive 8 hours to come out and see the show. And that to me was like amazing,
Right.
That's a cool moment. And then I got to say, I also did a YouTube video of Dear God from Avenged Sevenfold a while ago. That went viral because the album had just come out, if you're familiar with that song. And I just did a clip of it. I just figured out the guitar riff, and I sang that in a chorus and maybe the second verse. And next thing I know, that thing goes viral. I get all kinds of people messaging me, telling me they want me to do the whole thing. So I do the whole thing. I remember almost fucking it up in a couple places, and I just improvised to make it seem kind of cool. But anyway, that went viral as well. And so the big thrill for me on that was I had a guy in Australia that redid the song. And he specifically did a reply video to me. And he goes, he said, hey, Tony Noyes, how you doing, my cunt mate? Come on out to Australia. I got a cot here for you. And, that's my best Australian accent. But, he was just saying, I got a cot. We got a fridge full of beer. Come out to Australia and kick back with us. He had a microphone set up. And when I did the video, my mic clip broke. So I had a bungee cord around it. So he has a bungee cord around the mic on there. He goes, I got a bungee cord over here for you, just like your microphone. And he,
oh, wow.
I just laughed. But he did the whole song the way that I did the song, even with the fuck ups in there, like where I screwed it up and I kind of just held the note, yeah, da da da, figured out where I was, da 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 da, So the pauses were there and all the little. He did it exactly like my version, and that was just one of the coolest moments for me. I mean, that's a memory that I'm like, I don't even know if I could find that video.
Right. I'm
going to probably search for it at some point. But, yeah, I had a lot of really cool moments. I mean, we could probably go on the rest of the show with this shit, with a lot of really cool. There's a lot of highs and lows that go on. And
sure.
Some of the lows are just like, I want to quit. I'm fucking done. I'm done with this. But, there's so many great memories through the whole thing, and so it's totally been worth it.
Absolutely. You got any pre-show rituals off the wall? Anything?
I really don't. I really am. It's kind of game day is what I call it. And so I want everybody to kind of leave me alone. I kind of think inside. I mean, I don't mind some interaction, but I don't plan shit for the day or, hey, let's run here and pick up some lumber from Home Depot because, we need that and a new door we need to set next. If the wife brings any shit up like that, I'm like, it's game day. Leave me alone. I'm loading equipment. I'm making sure I got all my stuff, go through the list. But I really don't. I've never had, I might warm up a little bit in the car on the way over there. Sometimes I just do the cold show, and it takes the first few songs to get warmed up. And, but no, nothing like lighting candles or kumbaya or getting in a yoga pose and humming. Nothing like that.
Okay.
But lots of beer and shots it used to be too. I'd always do a shot before,
right? And just to mellow it out a little bit.
I think all the singers, like we make excuses. Like Jack Daniel's great for loosening up the vocal cords, and it just clears it all up for me. It actually numbs it all up for you, and it works. It does. It gets you through the show. It doesn't matter how much it hurts.
Right. So what's your songwriting process?
All over the map. All over the map. Sometimes I've had a lot of those moments where you hear artists just say it just channeled down into me. You just hear it. It's like a radio playing it, like I got the antenna on and the song's coming in my head and I'm just singing it, and I go home and I write it or I get on the guitar right away. I have voice memos in my phone, just tons of those, and I haven't gone through half of them, like probably 90% of them haven't even been revisited. But I got a lot of them, and sometimes I go back and listen to them and go, ooh, what is that? What was I thinking? I've done songs both ways where I sing the melody and the words come right to me, and then I have to write the music underneath it, or I'll start with a cool riff, or I'll start with nothing and just sit down and do it, It's just all over the map. Could be any. Usually when I hear another song, I get some kind of influence. I hear what they're singing or something, and I'm thinking, oh, what would the harmony be? And then what if we change these notes around? And and then I kind of write it, in my head, which, makes me for one of those guys that I need some silence, in the house. I'm like, I need some quiet right now. I'm working something out. And I stare at the wall, I'm writing in my head and shit, and people don't understand that, sometimes. And I get colors. I get, because I'm an artist, so I get shapes and colors and ways to draw stuff and put it together, and I sculpt, I do everything. So all the art comes into my head all the time. So I have to get that out. If I'm in the nitty-gritty day-to-day grind, which I've been when I had my own company, I had a sign company, and I was doing bills and doing this, and by the end of the day I go to sleep, and I wake up, and I got to get to work, and I go, and then I would have this music coming in, this art coming in, and there's no way to get it out.